Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhan Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopal Shama Kund Radha Ki Jai Navadapta Ki Jai Gang Jamuna Tulasi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Ananda Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Shri Krishna Ganga, all glories. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasad Buddhade Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pratadane Nirvishayavani Pastatadishatadane Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10, chapter 47, verse 43. Tam kim nisha smaratiya sutada priyabhir. Vrindavane kumuda kunda sasankarame. Remake for Nat Charana Nupura Rasa Gostyam. Asmabir idita manogya katta kadachit. those Kim, weather, Nisha, nights, Smarati, he remembers, Yasu, in which, Tada, then, Priya be, with his beloved girlfriends, Vrindavane, in the Vrindavan forest, Muda, because of the lotuses, Kunda, jasmines, Sasanka, and because of the moon, Ramye, attractive, Reme, he enjoyed, Kvarnat, jingling, Charana Nupura, ankle bells, Ras Gostyam, in the party of the Rasa dance. Asmabi, with us, Idata, glorified, Manogya, charming, Kata, topics about whom, Kada Chit, ever. Translation, does he recall those nights in the Vrindavan forest, lovely with lotus, jasmine, and the bright moon? As we glorify his charming pastimes, he enjoyed with us, his beloved girlfriend, in the circle of the rasa dance, which resounded with the music of ankle bells. Purport Srila Vishnu Chakravarti gives the following deep realization about this verse. The gopis knew that no place could be as beautiful as Vrindavan. Nowhere else in the universe could one find such a charming scene as the Vrindavan forest, which was scented with pious flowers and illuminated by the full moon's light reflected from the serene waves of the sacred Jamuna River. No one loved Krishna as much as the gopis, and thus no one else could understand him as well. The gopis rendered intimate service to Krishna that only they could perfect. Thus, the gopis were distraught to think that Lord Krishna was bereft of Vrindavan and bereft of their service. Free of all material lust, they were overwhelmed with disappointment because they could not give Krishna happiness by their loving service. They simply could not imagine Krishna enjoying anywhere else as he did in Vrindavan in their company. Translation, does he recall those nights in the Vrindavan forest, lovely with lotus, jasmine, and the bright moon? As we glorified his charming pastimes, he enjoyed with us his beloved girlfriends in the circle of the rasa dance, which resounded with the music of ankle bells. So in the previous verses, Krishna, or the gopis, were doubting whether Krishna remembered them now that he had gone off to the city, Mathura. So here they're a little bit more specific. And what should be remembered? What does Krishna remember? Why should he remember us? And of course, they also mentioned that we were just village girls and these are city women, so therefore he must not remember us. But in this verse, they give a somewhat detailed description of what should be remembered, and he actually should remember, because of the attractive nature of the pastimes in Vrindavan. So they actually begin this verse by saying, does he remember those nights? So immediately they are recollecting the nights in Vrindavan, which consisted of the rasa dance, because those pastimes took place at the night. And we know that the rasa dance is actually the climax of the whole Bhagavatam. So the 5 chapters in the Rasa Leela are considered to be the essence of everything in the Bhagavatam. They're the most spectacular pastime of all. So Krishna is singled out as being the most astonishing form of the Supreme Lord, even though all the forms like Vishnu and Narayan or whatever, and Brahmachandra and Nrsimhadev. They're all Bhagavan. Still, Krishna is outstanding. But why is he outstanding? So one of the features, he's outstanding because of his astonishing pastimes. And what type of astonishing pastimes? Pastimes that the other avatars, other forms of the Lord do not perform. And one of these most astonishing pastimes is the Rasa Leela. That's so astonishing and most attractive, and yet at the same time, even Lakshmi cannot enter into those pastimes. So very, very exalted pastimes. So this is what they are describing in this verse. They describe the night. And actually, if we look at the 5 chapters in the Rasa Leela, it begins with a description of the night, the autumn night with the full moon. And that provided the ideal setting for the first Rasa Leela. So all of this was arranged by Yoga Maya. So an ideal setting was created, and that's what is recalled here. We have the night in Vrindavan, pleasant with the scent of the night blooming lotus, kumuda, and jasmine flowers, kunda flowers, and moonlight, sasanka, which literally means mark of the rabbit, because the moon has a little mark on it, looks like a rabbit, so it's called marked by the rabbit. So that's the moon. There was the full moon. So the forest, of course, Vrindavan in the south, the forest is very wonderful, but it became very attractive because of the lotuses, the jasmine, and the moonlight, full moonlight. And of course it's described that actually the jasmines didn't bloom in this season, the autumn season. They bloom in the springtime, but they actually blossomed at this time as a special encouragement to the pastimes of the Rasa Leela. So Vrindavan became especially attractive for the rasa dance and the Madhurya Rasa. So then it describes that Krishna enjoyed Reme. Not that they got the enjoyment, Krishna got enjoyment. And that's also described in that 29th chapter also, that Krishna thought that he would enjoy in that night. So Krishna is the enjoyer, and the gopis are the ones who are eager to give him that enjoyment. So the nature of the gopis is that they have pure love. Now, of course, the love is expressed in different ways, and the love of the gopis is Madhurya Rasa. So that is sometimes called kama. So we have the different types of relationships. So one is called kama. Another is sambandha, which means this relationship. It refers to vatsalya and sakya and dasya, and even shanta. But Madhurya Rasa is singled out, it's called kamatmaka, filled with kama. But this is not the kama of the material world. It is absolutely pure. So the gopis are said to have kama, but actually it is prema. And their only desire is to please Krishna, nothing else. So therefore, the kama is completely different from material kama. So it is a type of prema that when we talk about kama in relation to the gopis. So they desire to give pleasure to Krishna. And Krishna was satisfied. He got great pleasure. So therefore, it says, Reme, he enjoyed. So the gopis were the ones who were capable of giving that enjoyment to Krishna. They were the qualified ones. There are other persons in Madhurya Rasa or something like Madhurya Rasa also, like Kubja and Mathura. But then
It's called kama praya, almost kama. It's not exactly the same thing. So it's not so pure as that of the gopis. There's some desire for their own enjoyment in such relationships, but the gopis had no desire, only the desire to please Krishna. And consequently, Krishna got the most enjoyment out of that. He got the most enjoyment because that love was purest. So it also describes here that this rasa dance was, the nights were had the sound of the ankle bells of the gopis. So of course there were musical instruments also. And they are also described in the Bhagavatam, but particularly the ankle bells had a particular musical attraction in them. And when the 3 billion gopis or whatever were dancing, it was a huge sound of the ankle bells. So that was also a source of enjoyment, sound. So we have the fragrance of the lotuses and the jasmine. We have the sound of the ankle bells and the other musical instruments. Actually, in the I think it is Bhakti Ratnakar, there it describes that this was the origin of all music in the rasa dance. And all the instruments are described, and all the different ragas and the tals are described in relation to the rasa dance. So the rasa dance was most astonishing to everyone, even the devatas, because of the highest expertise in dancing and music and whatnot. All the different arts were displayed to the highest degree in this dance, the rasa dance, and all for the pleasure of Krishna. And as well, he spoke to the gopis very attractive words at that time. So he gave messages to them, and he encouraged their service and their love. So this is the description given here. So they're asking, does he remember that, those nights in which he enjoyed? So as the purport, actually quoting Vishwa Chakravarti, explains, that actually the gopis were the most qualified with the purity of their love, which is called kama, and therefore they could give the most pleasure to Krishna. The definition of bhakti is to render service in a favorable manner with no other desire than the desire to please Krishna. Of course, all the devotees have that intention, and if one has prema, then that's so. But the intensity of that love was the highest in the gopis. It was pure and most intense. And because of that, it was most pleasing to Krishna. So he got the most pleasure from this rasa dance with the gopis. So pleasurable that he made the night go on for a night of Brahma. He expanded the few hours of the night into a night of Brahma because he could not stop dancing with the gopis. So this rasa dance is the most, very, very attractive, one of the most attractive features of the pastimes of Krishna. And of course within Madhurya Rasa it's the most attractive as well. So therefore Krishna must remember these pastimes, since he got the most enjoyment from them. And Krishna is special because of the Ras Leela. The Ras Leela takes place in Vrindavan. So even though he's in Mathura and later he goes to Dwarka, there's no Ras Leela. There's no Vrindavan forest there, there's no Ras Leela, there's no gopis there. So certainly Kubjas in Mathura or the queens are in Dwarka, but the Ras Leela does not take place there. It takes place only in Vrindavan with the gopis. So the gopis were the most qualified to give this pleasure to Krishna. And thus, Krishna should remember them. This is only natural. So they're raising this question, does he remember those nights? At the same time, the nature of the gopis is, and of course of prema in general, but as one goes higher and higher, then the nature of the devotee is that with such intense prema, they also are the most humble. They express the most dainya, or humility. And therefore, they do not claim that, simply claim that Krishna got the most enjoyment with us. Rather, it's suggested. And at the same time, it's a question only. Does he remember those nights in which he enjoyed? So they're not advertising themselves as the best persons or anything like that. Though actually that's the indication. Still, they don't say that directly, out of great humility. And because of the other aspects of love, like jealousy and disappointment, etc., in separation, they have doubt. Doubt arises in their mind. Maybe he's not remembering us at all. However, we should understand that the doubt of the gopis is not substantiated. Krishna does remember the gopis. Krishna never forgets the people of Vrindavan. He's always remembering them. In fact, he's remembering to the extent that he doesn't remember anything in Dwarka or Mathura, because he's remembering the gopis and the Nanda and Yasoda and the others. Even though he has other pastimes, he's most attracted to Vrindavan. And thus, he finally returns there after fulfilling his duties in other places. So this shows his great attraction to the people of Vrindavan, and particularly the gopis. So the gopis have no need to worry ultimately. Krishna is most attracted to them. They are the highest devotees of all, and therefore, as one surrenders, Krishna responds. So therefore, because of their complete surrender, Krishna is under their control, and he must always think of them. He cannot help but think of them at all times. So the doubt is not very well founded, because Krishna is most attracted to the gopis. But because they also have great humility, therefore they express this as a doubt. Does he remember us at all? Even though he enjoyed the most. So this also shows their great quality. Even though they do express anger and jealousy and whatnot, they show the utmost humility. So that is the sign of a great person.
When the gopis are speaking like this, does it mean that they are just speaking out of viraha, separation, or just trying to joke, or they bring the heart out? Because they say everything negatively. How can they expect Krishna to talk about gopis' love to Mathura women? No person is spoken.
Yeah, this is love in separation. So therefore there's always tinged with some lamentation and regret and sadness, some jealousy, some anger, etc. So these become quite manifest when there is separation. And particularly here we have long separation, so the symptoms become quite acute. There is also, of course, anger and jealousy in union when Krishna meets with the gopis. They may also express anger or doubt. Why was Krishna late? Or why did he come like this? He must be enjoying with Chandravali, this and that. So they will have, even in meeting they will have, but these symptoms become more prolonged and intense in separation. Become much more evident in prolonged separation.
Can you say that, you are giving the explanation that devotion, bhakti means that, the intention is to give pleasure, not to get pleasure. Correct. And how can we understand that kubja, that her devotion is really devotion, or her bhakti is really bhakti, because she wants to get pleasure actually?
She is defined as having, it's not actually prema, but rati, which means bhava. So, in other words, her affection is there, obviously, because it's directed towards Krishna, it's not unfavorable also. But it doesn't have the same intensity as that of the gopis, and said kama praya. So there is a tinge that looks like a tinge of self-interest in her relationship. But we do know that in bhava and prema, generally there can be no such real self-interest in the material sense. So we can take this as more or less something on the spiritual level, the idea of enjoyment with Krishna.
And the question is, see, when that autumn season, that when Krishna let us flute, all the gopis went, but Krishna in the beginning he rejected them. Krishna rejected them. So that means that but the gopis almost they said, no, we came here to give you pleasure. But now question is that Krishna might say that, okay, I am rejecting you, you should go back. But here the gopis are not understanding the intention of Krishna. Gopis might not understand the intention of Krishna. No, there's a little bit, because the definition of bhakti is that they want to give pleasure to Krishna, but Krishna doesn't want it. In the beginning he rejected it. So again, how can you consider as a devotion also? How can you consider as a devotion? Krishna doesn't want. You should go back to your home and you look after.
That type of incident is part of their pastimes only. And Krishna was actually joking with them. It was a joke. Because right after that, and then he stopped joking, and then he enjoyed with them. So it was only like say, a test, just as Krishna also tested Rukmini. And say, oh, I'm not a very good husband, better you go and marry somebody else, etc., etc. And he gave all sorts of excuses and said, I'm not so good, and this and that, and I'm not a good husband. Only to tease her and get her angry or whatever like that. And she didn't become angry at all, actually. She fainted, rather. So sometimes Krishna will tease the gopis. So this is one instance where at the beginning of the Rasa Leela, he said, oh, you better go home and take care of your family members and this, and I'm a brahmachari, so you shouldn't associate with me in the middle of the night, and it's dangerous here with the forest and with wild animals, etc., which are all untrue in one sense, because there's no dangerous animals in Vrindavan, because it's a spiritual world, so there can't be any flesh-eating tigers or lions or things like that. So it's a joke.
So the question might come in, see, when Krishna was giving this argument, because actually Krishna was calling all the gopis by playing the flute. So question again, then if you don't call me, then why are you playing the flute at night, deep night,
Well, that's their argument.
Yeah.
You called us, so then why are you telling us to go back? That's their argument. And of course, finally Krishna does agree, and he accepts them all. And they say, we're not going to go back to our houses anyway, so don't talk about how we should be attached to our parents and sort of. We have no attachment at all, and we're not going back. What is the meaning of rasa? Well, the rasa meaning rasa dance. That means it's a particular dance which is described as. There's another name for Halisakha, I think it is. So it's dancing in a circle, basically. It's a circle dance, the rasa dance. Technical definition. Well, yes, the connection is there. Also means tasty or attractive or whatever like that. For rasa, rasa means the rasa dance. Rasa means taste, ultimately, taste. But what we call them rasas, the different sthāyi bhavas mixed with the vibhachari bhavas, etc., becomes rasa. So we have different sthāyi bhavas, which are rasa. So a certain experience of affection and enjoyment caused by this combination of different elements in a relationship. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and associates also display what? Same bhava as Radharani and the gopis. Well, Lord Chaitanya displays Mahabhava in Puri with his fainting and whatever, and his body shrinks or expands and separates from the joints, etc. Or he perspires blood, or whatever, very intense symptoms of Mahabhava. Other associates, of course, experience symptoms, but not to the same extent.
He starts dancing. So dance contains all the elements of happiness, like eye expression,
Oh,
limb
dance
movement,
also, singing also, singing.
But singing, they only sing, but they can't do other expression. Here, I think that Krishna chose Rasa dance to be the very highest.
Well,
contains all the
it
elements.
combined the dancing with the
Everything
singing
singing.
and with acting and
Singing.
so many other things, abhinaya, etc. So it was a combination of many different arts.
But when someone becomes old, he can't dance. Like old gopis cannot dance.
Huh?
When the gopis become old, they can't dance.
Well, they don't age in the spiritual
They don't
world.
age.
They're all that age. And the elder gopis are in Vatsalya Rasa, so they don't even participate in the Rasa Leela. It's only the young gopis that participate. Well, the gopis also played instruments.
Sir, busy with the dancing
Yeah.
with Krishna. But who was playing all the
Yeah,
instruments?
well, they also played. But it said, of course, also in the sky there was the sound of the Devatas or the Gandharvas or Apsaras and all that. They had instruments also and were also playing. But the gopis playing was much more attractive even than that.